we glow, rhythm in the night. Heartbeats follow the flow, skin kissed by the light. Feel the heat in the air, got the music in my veins. Bodies moving, catching fire, breaking all the chains. With a touch I pull you close, let the world fade away. Underneath the starless sky, we can dance until the day. We're spinning in this moment, darling, can't you see? Together we are magic, just you and me, yeah. Come on, lover, let loose some wine. Show me your heart's desire. Feel the rhythm, feel the fire. Take me higher, take me higher. Come on, lover, let loose some wine. Make the world fall away. With each heartbeat, with each step, let's dance until the day.
With every sway of our hips, we're in sync with the night. Crop of golden stars shine and everything feels right. And birds dancing in your eyes, I'm spellbound, can't pull away. Wrapped in the groove of your solo, let's play your love. We're spinning in this moment, darling, can't you see? Together we are magic, just you and me. Show me your heart's desire. Feel the rhythm, feel the fire. Take me higher, take me higher. Come on, lover, let loose some wine. Make the world fall away. With each heartbeat, with each step, let's dance until the day. Let's find a beat in the silence. Let passion start to rise. Your touch feels like a symphony, echoing in the sky. Sway with me through the shadows, let's paint the night divine. With a hip afro beat in your arms, I'm lost in time. So come on, lover, let's play. Let's create our own line. In the rhythm of together, lose ourselves in a twine. Yeah, come on, lover, let loose. Tonight we'll rise and shine. With a beat that moves the soul, you'll always be mine.
Yeah, I'm watching my
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Timian, and I'm here answering questions and making comment. My responses come from my own experience, not from a tradition or not from a religion, but from my own experience. And I'm not saying my way is the way, that my truth is the truth. I'm just answering from that perspective, from what my experience has brought me. And one of the unique things about my experience was that I meditated, and I still do, every day for over 50 years. So let's have a look at some questions and see what we've got. Hi there, Mig. Will you be moderating? I hope so. Miha, I have one question. Okay, go ahead, ask. Karen, hi there. How important is it, says Mig, to reevaluate how we live and do things regularly? Well, you know, if you're not happy, if you're not feeling content, if you're not feeling fulfilled, then you have to have a look and see why, right? There's a reason. If you feel that something's not quite right, that's because something's not quite right. There's no shame in there being not something quite right. Have a look, reevaluate. What are your values? Who's driving your life? What is driving your life? Are you conscious of what is driving your life? Metacognition is the ability to see who you're being, that your life is, such that it's turning up the way it is. Who you're being. What are the elements that come together to generate a sense of being, out of which thoughts come, out of which actions come? How much of it is conscious and how much of it is unconscious? The goal is to become conscious so that you can drive your life where it wants to go. But if there's a big unconscious backlog, then that drives your life in order that it might get resolved. This is what Carl Jung said. What you're unconscious of drives your life. How important is it to reevaluate how we live and do things regularly? Well, if you only do things when you want to do them, you'll always be changing course and you'll never get anywhere. But if you set yourself a goal and regularly apply yourself, there's something about that discipline that the way we're hardwired likes, and the way the universe is hardwired likes. You can get into a rhythm. When you dance or when you play a rhythm, it builds on itself and nuances develop. And you have a sense of gathering power and moving forward. So it is important. Peace life of a clear sky, says Nelia Tarexa. I have been really lazy today, Timian, says Baza. Why are you telling me? Is this your confession? Well, if you're confessing to me, Baza, then there must be, what do they call it when you make a confession and you have to do something? You know, you have to say a certain number of prayers. Well, what you've got to do, Baza, is have more fun. Have more fun. Why is forgiving and forgetting so hard even when we want to? Well, you don't forget. You can't really govern your memory in that way, but you can forgive. But we have so much invested in it. And our internal dialogue loves it. Finding guilt in others and talking to us about it. Even years after it has happened sometimes. But soon you come to a place where you think, you know, I cannot be weighed down anymore by carrying the past into every new moment. Enough is enough. And you start feeling the joy of forgiving. You feel the joy of forgiving. And you unburden yourself. It's for you, not them. I had an interesting experience, talking about random acts of kindness. There was this busker outside the supermarket, and I've given him money before. I like the guy. He plays really nicely. So I went into the supermarket because I'd only got a big note. So I bought a lottery ticket, which I hardly ever do, in order to break down the big note. So then when I came back, he'd gone. But then the next night, the lottery was called and I won a £5 and a free go. So I thought, isn't that good? You know, I was going to do something nice for that guy and the universe rewarded me. How do you know this track, God? Because I made it. Damien Drum Pro. After the AM ceremony, I had access to my higher self. Wow. Where there was an all-encompassing darkness. And within the darkness, I was fully presence. I was presence itself. Yes, that is who you are. But in the darkness, it's not actually dark. If you look more closely, if you open your eye and look, because you can carry on seeing with your eyes closed, right? You'll find that it's not dark. It may be black, but closer examination will reveal something else. But that's great. Yes, I am presence itself. So you at any time have two different modes. You're either a waveform or your particle presence. And how to change from waveform to particle presence, self-observation. Hello, Lunette. Happy Passover. Who are you without your expectations? I am the same with expectations as I am without them. What truly is the truth? Well, there are different levels of truth. There are truths that have an opposite, which is lie, and there is a truth that is non-dual, the absolute truth. And the absolute truth is beyond duality, beyond time, beyond space, beyond any form, beyond any construction, beyond any dimension, and it is equally everywhere, always, already. Unchanging awareness. That is the truth. It doesn't change. It's the only thing that doesn't change. Like the sky. Doesn't matter what passes through it, whether it be jets or weather or meteors or fireworks or bombs or clouds or rain or sunshine rays, the sky never changes. That's the truth. I feel so calm here, says Catherine. Good. Yes, I'm more than happy to moderate whenever I'm on the live, if you'd like me to. Yeah. Well, I think you're already plugged in to do that. Damien Drum Pro. I am pure presence. Yeah, but that mustn't become a belief. That must be an experience that you continuously have. So every time you realize you've just been thinking and been playing your avatar role, sucked completely into your avatar role, then you return to presence. You return to presence by focusing your mind, with eyes open or closed, by taking a breath, or by even remembering presence. It's an experience that must grow. It cannot be a concept that you add on to your conceptual structure about reality. Recognizing yourself as presence, recognizing the self as presence, will be the beginning of the dismantling of your concept structure about reality. Luca, are you related to Fidel Castro? Fidel Castro? I think we all are, aren't we? We're all related to each other one way or another. How do we move on without feeling guilty, says Karen Elaine Davies. Well, the thing is to feel the guilt, to look at the guilt first. Don't just walk away from it, just feel it through. Why are you feeling guilty? Why are you punishing yourself for feeling guilty? What have you done? Who are you being that your actions were such that you're turning up as guilty? Either you're guilty or you're not guilty. If you are guilty, then make amends, apologize, whatever, and then move on. Or if what you're saying is, I see, how do you move on without feeling guilty about moving on? You have to align yourself, and be completely honest. And then you won't feel guilty. You'll just know it's the right thing to do for you and the other person. You're not responsible for how they get you. You're not responsible for how they get you moving on. That's not your responsibility. Who their being that you are, who their being that you moving on is, that is their responsibility. Truth is singular. Its versions are mistruths. Well, maybe the second part of it is a bit strong. The truth is singular. I found this thing today, which is pretty amazing. And it's from, oh, wait a minute, it's all gone pear-shaped. Here we go. It's from the book of the Gospel of Thomas. The inexpressible one, the one rules all. Nothing has authority over it. It is the God. It is Father of everything, Holy One, the invisible one over everything. It is uncontaminated, pure light. No eye can bear to look within. The one is the invisible spirit. It is not right to think of it as a God or as like God. It is more than just God. Nothing is above it. Nothing rules it. Since everything exists within it, it does not exist within anything. Since it is not dependent on anything, it is eternal. It is absolutely complete and so needs nothing. It is utterly perfect light. The one is without boundaries. Nothing exists outside of it. To border it, the one cannot be investigated. Nothing exists apart from it to investigate it. The one cannot be measured. Nothing exists external to it to measure it. The one cannot be seen, for no one can envision it. The one is eternal, for it exists forever. The one is inconceivable, for no one can comprehend. The one is indescribable, for no one can put any words to it. The one is infinite light, purity, holiness, stainless. The one is incomprehensible, perfectly free from corruption. Not perfect, not blessed, not divine, but superior to these concepts. Neither physical nor unphysical, neither immense nor infinitesimal. It is impossible to specify in quantity or quality, for it is beyond knowledge. The one is not a being among beings. It is vastly superior, but it is not superior. It is outside of realms of being and time, for whatever is within realms of being was created, and whatever is within time had time allotted to it. The one receives nothing from anything. It simply apprehends itself in its own perfect light. The one is majestic. The one is measureless majesty, chief of all realms, producing all realms. Light producing light, life producing life. Blessedness producing blessedness, knowledge producing knowledge, good producing goodness, mercy producing mercy, generosity producing generosity. It does not possess these things. It gives forth light beyond measure, beyond comprehension. Realm is eternal, peaceful, silent, resting before everything. So that's from the Gospel of Thomas. Now that was coming from, that was part of what the Bible should have been. That was intended for the Bible, for the New Testament, the Gospel of Thomas. But they took it out and put in nonsense instead. Who are you without your expectations? I'm exactly the same without my expectations as I am with them. What is truly the truth? I know you're Socrates, I just can't prove it. Okay, thank you. I feel so calm here. Where have you got to? Are you ready to Fidel Castro? How do we just move on without feeling guilty? Yeah, got it. So that was in response to truth is singular, yes. I know that this omnipresent darkness was me as a presence, and this presence was light in the darkness, yeah. What do you think of the 48 Laws of Power book? I don't know it. I have an edit on you, bro. Check my profile. Okay. That is my true. Space is made in Hollywood basement. Okay. Is guilt in the eye of the beholder? Yeah. Guilt doesn't emanate from anything. If you feel guilty, that's coming from you. That's coming from who you're being, that the action was. The action in itself contains nothing. Each person performing that action will get it differently. If you're experiencing guilt from doing something, that's coming out of who you're being, that action is. You're the source of that guilt. I'm going to have some nice pasta and butter for Good Friday. What are you? Yeah. You got more important questions, Ghost. More important questions. God, please bless me so I can be rich. That was starting so well. God, please bless me. And then so I can be rich. Oh, yawn. Is that all you can think of? There's a greater treasure. There's a guy called Light who comes here, and one day he said, how can it be that the greatest wealth is free? How can it be? Asking God for money is so dumb. It's so dumb. It's like, I met this guy once, right? There was a guy called Satya Sai Baba in India, and he was supposed to be a miracle guru. And so he would wear these long shirts and he'd waggle his hand and he'd give people Rolex watches, or he'd give them diamonds. And one day my friend went to see him, and then he came back. And I went to my friend, what happened? Oh yeah, I saw the guru. I said, oh, okay. What happened? He said, oh, look, I got this diamond ring. And he's wearing this little diamond ring. And he expected me to be like all excited. I said, you mean you actually found someone who could manifest anything, and what you asked them for was a diamond, which you can get anywhere? Why didn't you ask him for the one thing that's hardest to find? True knowledge. Knowledge that frees you forever. The knowledge of happiness. Why didn't you ask him for that? And it just hadn't occurred to him at all. Hello from South Africa. Hey there, Ibrahim II. You are most welcome. We had someone from Australia today. Now we've got South Africa. What do you say about lucid dreaming? Well, on occasion I've done it, but it's it's hard to do whenever you want to, and even if you can. But what it shows us really is that If you wake up a little bit in a sleep dream, you get the power to direct your dream. And that principle is also true on this plane. If you wake up a little bit here, you get the power to lucidly dream your life. It appears that you want something and it kind of comes. Luca, what do you think of the 48 laws of power? I don't know what that is. Do you know what they call it Good Friday, but it's really God Friday? Is that right? Casablanca, knowledge is rich, rich in his glory. Success is a decision. No, Luca. There's a difference between a decision and a choice. A decision is a mental function coming out of a conversation with yourself. And you might decide to be wealthy, but that decision won't make you so, make you successful. A decision isn't causal. You can make wrong decisions. But a choice, success is a choice. If you choose, it doesn't come from your head. It comes from presence. When the choice point moment arrives, and if you choose success, then your life will reconfigure in accordance with your choice. That choice is a superpower, whereas deciding is a dim echo of it in your mind. You may not have made many choices, Luca. You made hundreds of decisions, millions of decisions, but you may not have made many choices. There is a difference. True abundance is the power of love. Wanting money shows lack. Seek love and not money. Yeah, because the thing is, ultimately you want money because you think it's going to make you happy. But it really doesn't make that much difference. It makes a difference on one level. You know, I mean, I've lived in caves and I have a multimillionaire cousin. And I spent time in his luxurious mansion where everything is the best you can get. It's a bit lonely and cold in there sometimes. The rooms are too big. There's too much space. Everything's too expensive and too new. You can't get that lived-in feeling. Whereas I've lived in caves that have been just great. A beautiful mattress, right by a lake, with a fire, small fire, just on the outside, making tea. Absolutely perfect. Rich is just a perspective of being, yes. Not seek love, but be it and embody it. Yeah. You can seek it. You can seek love, why not? Before you embody it. Namaste, namaste. I have been able to consciously enter a lucid dream for some time now. Excellent. Okay, well then go and find people, dream of people who can also do the same and create a group in the lucid dream and start doing some work. Why not? Do you agree that humans are the worst species that ever existed? No, I don't. No, I don't. You've been propagandized. Because think about it, all right? Every mum loves her child. All the millions of mums looking after their kids, some in opulence and some in terrible situations. Children love their parents. People are kind on the ordinary level. Not on the geopolitical bullshit level, but on the ordinary human level. Humans are wonderful. They're kind to each other. They can be generous to each other. They can be loving to each other. Absolutely fantastic. Now, also they can eat their children. Also they can rape their children. And there are a few who think that's the way to go. But the majority of human beings, generation after generation after generation, are amazing. And let's not forget that. Let's not forget all the wonderful small things that make up the fabric of human life. The average human person, the average human being doesn't do evil shit. The average human being wants to live happily. The average human being seeks love and seeks peace and prosperity for himself and his family. Human beings are beautiful. Human beings have the divine within them. So I don't agree with that. No, Clark. Hi, Roland. We still have time to evolve as a healthier species. Yeah. Let's hope, because we don't know. The whole thing could end while I'm talking. We don't know that some unforeseen meteor is going to suddenly wipe us all out. We don't know. But it looks like we have time to evolve as a healthier species. And maybe this crisis that we're in now is forcing us to make a choice, is forcing us to really choose, that we can't go any further without choosing. Either we choose a zombie apocalyptic, pseudo-Christian, Judaic, Abrahamic bullshit, or we choose to have it that another way is possible for humanity. We choose love, we choose peace, we choose sharing. We choose looking after the planet. We choose looking after each other. That is possible. It sounds beautiful to me. What does it mean when we die a brutal death in a dream? Interesting. People don't often die in a dream. You could look it up. I don't know what the standard definition is. But it probably means the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new chapter. Have you used Rapé? No, I haven't. Okay. So, may I ask how you ended up in prison? What was the life experience like? It was amazing. I was smuggling cocaine back from Peru, and I got caught in Germany, and I ended up in prison. And initially, when I left Peru, they gave me this little pill. And they said, if you have a problem or you get nervous, take the pill and it'll chill you out. So after I got arrested in Frankfurt and put in the first jail, I thought, oh no, I've got this pill. I better take it, otherwise that might add to my trouble. So I took the pill. And it was a really cool, I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was like, it made me feel really cool with everything. And it lasted about 24 hours. So I was like, from then on, for the next 24 hours, I was in a very easy space. I didn't really get what had happened particularly. And if I did get it, it didn't really matter. But then finally, I got to where I was going to be and the door slammed shut, bang, and the lock went. And suddenly I woke up out of this effect that this pill had given me. And then I decided what I was going to do is turn this into an ashram. And this experience was going to be my ashram experience. And I was just going to meditate and meditate and make as best use of it as I could. And so I did. And then I went to trial and everything, and then I went to this high security jail. And there were terrorists there, mafia bosses, gangsters, American gangsters, Yugoslavian gangsters, all kinds of like people I would never have encountered normally. But so I started doing this thing, and I was just so incredibly protected that it was absolutely unbelievable. And so eventually I got to be on a small group of people that were able to liaise between the prisoners and the governors. And I got access all areas and was able to kind of go around and do things. And then I became very creative. I made an album. We had a little studio there in which it got going, and I made a 12-track album of all different nationalities doing their stuff, which was brilliant, and made a little film. And I wrote and wrote and wrote, but every day meditate, meditate, meditate. And what I experienced from that was that heaven and hell are not a location, are not a situation, are not a circumstance. Who I'm being that the circumstance is gives me whether it's heaven or hell or not. And for me, I lived it through and transformed it. And, you know, for me, I was in a beautiful, beautiful place. And yet 3 or 4 cells down from me, somebody hung themselves. And you could hear people screaming, you know, not happy at all. But this inner knowing, you know, was incredibly helpful and really saved me in that situation. And many, many extraordinary things happened. And then when I was free, it was weird because it didn't make any difference. When I walked out the cell after 2 years, it didn't make any difference. I was already free. It was just a change of location. And I look back and I don't have any regrets about the experience of being in prison and the people that I met. Because now I've met terrorists. I know what their mentality is. I've met mafia dons. I know what their mentality is. I know what an extreme bully is like. You know, I know what people are like. I know what bad luck looks like. You know, people who had just really bad luck. You know, they just got angry and slapped their wife and she fell over and died, and now they're in jail forever, you know, sort of thing. Bad luck for both parties. So I regret not listening to my inner voice at the time that I'd made the action, but I was completely adrift. Even though I was still meditating, I was completely adrift. I was in my ego. I was lost in a sort of cokey, silly world. And luckily I was able to pass through that world quickly. And when I was in the jail, I had the distinct sense that it was I was working out some kind of karma from a previous lifetime as well. And that was pretty amazing. And I went through a whole transformation in that time. So it was an important part of my life. You know, I wouldn't do it again. You know, I wouldn't do those things again. Jesus owes him $5. Ghost, when you meditate, even in prison, you're free, yeah. But it's one thing to say that, Ghost, but it's another thing to actually know that and have that work every day. Thank you for sharing. Do you sell your album? Yeah, I do. If you look on the front of my of my TikTok channel, I've pinned the details of where you can get all the music, my books, and make appointments if you want to see me, or if you have any kind of event that you want me to come to, I'm up for that as well. But all the details are pinned on the front of my TikTok channel. So have a look. Blessings, brother. Thank you, Sophie. What jobs have you had? Holy moly. Well, one constant theme in my life is that I've been an activist. So, for example, I went out to, first of all, I tried to stop nuclear testing in England. Then I went out to the South Pacific and tried to stop French nuclear testing in Mururoa. Then I did some activism with Occupy. Then I did some activism with stopping the fracking for a year in the UK, camping on a roadside, stopping the fracking, which we did. And then I did a year of daily vigils for Gaza, more recently. And then in terms of work, I've made movies, I've written books, I've sold art, I've been a film extra, I've been a computer recruitment consultant, I've also done, I like serving food, I like generating money and buying food and serving it and cooking it and serving it to people. I've done that quite a lot. Loads of stuff, loads of different stuff, very varied life. Would you officiate a wedding? Yes, I would. I'm actually a reverend. I'm a reverend in the Universal Life Church. So I actually am empowered to officiate at a wedding. Yes, I would. I'd love to do that. Believing and knowing are not the same, says Ghost. Indeed, they're not. That's one of the key themes of this live, is the distinction between believing something and knowing. What you know, you directly experience. What you believe, you hope is there. Have you met Capitan Cousteau? No. If I know that I'm pure presence, but I don't fully understand what's next, yeah, don't worry about what's next, because there's nothing after pure presence. There's nothing after it. Just be that. Just become that. Surrender into that. Become familiar with that. Allow that presence to do its work. Return to it again and again and again. And you'll notice that every time you open a moment and drop into the real, the truth rushes in. More and more truth rushes in. And it fills you up and you feel fulfilled. Do it again and again and again and again. And it will cleanse you of what you're not. But each moment you can be it. Don't worry about what's next. What's next will come. Just like you didn't know how this would come, it came. Don't worry about what's next. Should we always avoid the unhappy and unlucky? No, the place to get to is the place where you see who you're being that it is gives you how you get it. Anything. It's all empty. Take the thing of luck, right? If you go to wherever it is, somewhere like Thailand, and a black cat crosses your path, people think it's lucky. But if you go somewhere else and a black cat crosses your path, they think it's unlucky. Where does the luck come from? Does it come from the cat? No. It comes out of who you're being that the cat crossing your path is. So should we always avoid? Don't avoid anything. Accept everything as it is what I believe. People are never what they seem. Situations are never what they seem. I'm aware that I must be ready for more to be shown to me. Yeah. And if you're aware, then be aware that you kind of know what that will entail. And if you don't, when you need to know, you will. You have a perfect path. Your trajectory into the truth is beautiful and perfect and tailored for you. Love it, enjoy it, be thankful for it, honor it, be the best you can be. If you're going to do anything right, do this right. If you say you're going to sit in presence and meditate every day, make sure that you sit and meditate in presence every day. If you grow it, it will grow you. You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases, says Luca. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You can die from someone else's misery. Really? Whoever did that? Infectious emotional states? No, man. That's not how life occurs for me. It may well be how life occurs for you, because who you're being, that emotional states are, is that they can kill you. Who you're being that other people's emotional states are, is that they can kill you. So the probability of them having that power, or appearing to have that power in your life, is greater than if you didn't have that beingness operating. I don't have anything like that beingness operating. So the probability of that happening to me is very, very small. I suggest you transform that. Once you've seen where you got that idea from, metacognize that. It doesn't work. It's dysfunctional. And it's also not a part of consensus reality. Tailored Diggity Dog. My name is Tailored. Okay, cool. John McFatty. You can practice ways to protect your energy from others. Yeah, but I don't think they're like that either. I never do anything like that. We're in a field. I've got a signal. My job is to keep that signal strong. Period. I never think of like, oh, that person's got bad energy, or that person's draining me, or, you know, that person's, I must avoid that person because they're sad, or I don't think like that. I never think like that. And consequently, my reality doesn't turn up like that. Love. I understand where you're coming from, but I have stress-induced epilepsy and have to protect. Okay, well, you know. I have stress-induced epilepsy. Yeah, I've had that a few times. And I tell you something. The first time it happened, my guardian angel came and told me that it would happen another 2 times. 2 times, yeah, it happened 3 in all. The next time, so I was like thinking, oh God, when's it going to happen again? When's it going to happen again? When's it going to happen again? And it happened again. I was at Glastonbury Festival, 150,000 people in the audience, watching a band called Level 42. And I'd been selling LSD at the time. This is back in the day. And I was like very kind of lightheaded. And suddenly the music kind of caught my attention, and I started going up into these levels. And the next thing I knew, I'd fallen on the ground and I was having an epileptic fit. And no one in the crowd did anything. So eventually I calmed down and I figured out what had happened. And then I kind of got up and I saw from where I was in the center of the crowd, right to the edge of the crowd, there was a clear pathway that had just randomly formed. Right? No one had done it deliberately, but it was a clear pathway from where I was to the edge. So I walked to the edge and lay down and recovered. But what that showed me was that it's okay to be overwhelmed. A lot of people fear overwhelm or having a fit, because having a fit is a bit like being overwhelmed. There's too much energy for the moment. And so, it bursts out in a strange way and then knocks you out of your physical form. At least that's how it's happened to me. But I realized, you know what? I don't need to worry about being overwhelmed, because even if that happens, it's okay. It's actually okay. Life still got me. But yeah, you go there, Taylor. You do what you feel you need to do. I'm only talking about my experience, and I'm not saying it's universal. So you feel good with what you're doing. My guardian angel and I just said the word okay and went on a lecture about my initials, try. Okay. My next goal is an ayahuasca ceremony. I know I need it. Yeah, that's quite powerful. Good story. Watch Mystery Science Theatre 3000 and do ayahuasca. Fried nervous system. Yeah. But it's amazing what we can recover from. And it's amazing how much progress we can make. And it's amazing how incredible love is. And it's just extraordinary how amazing you are. Never doubt that. Totally incredible. You're a human being. Good evening, Tim, says Tracy. Hi there, Tracy. Have you ever been gifted something that took you in another direction? Have you ever been gifted something? No, I haven't. My direction's been set since I was like 18. I've just had one focus. I've done many different things in that time, but one real focus. The guide has been the daily meditation. And things have come, extraordinary things have come, extreme things and people have come, but my direction's been what it has always been. Ayman Abdo, I left my religion, Islam. Oh, that must have taken a bit of doing, because I don't like people leaving. But I hope you feel free, because the love of God is not contained within the religion. The love of God is within you. You can still love God, but strip away all the religion from it. Anything you don't feel good about, leave it. Now you're free, but you'll find that you still love God. And maybe you're not feeling it at the moment because you're still being free from it, but you'll probably find that you love God, that you're grateful for life, that you see a simpler, more true view. It takes courage to do that, Ayman. Well done. Tailored. He agrees I like him more than I suspected. Okay. I left my religion. Yeah, we got that, Ayman. Baza, what is Kundalini awakening? It's a side effect that happens to some people as they start to meditate in a particular way and their awakening kicks in. Or it can be triggered by psychedelics and other practices. Tracy, okay, I've had so many malas, rosaries, crystals, books, endless gifts when helping others. Good. What would be the best crime to commit without repercussions? Why would you want to commit a crime? Every cause has a reaction, so I'm not quite sure what you're saying there. Alex Montoya, are you wise? Well, that's for you to determine. There are some things that I tell you about myself, and then there are some things you tell me about myself. Like, for example, if I said to you, I'm ever so humble, that wouldn't be right, would it? But if I said to you, sometimes I find myself to be really arrogant, that would be okay. If I said to you, I'm really wise, you should listen to me, I'm really wise, that wouldn't be right. But if you said to me, wow, Timian, you're really wise, that would be okay. Do you see what I'm saying? There are some things we tell others about ourselves, and there are some things they should tell us. Snitches get snitches come on them. Yeah. You don't want to do that. I'm the most humble of everyone. I surprise myself at how humble I am. That's what I mean, yeah. This background is like familiar to me, says Edu. Okay. Do you want to be best friends? John McFatty asks Taylor. Okay. Right, well, what time is it? 0:55. Okay, we're going to have a bit of music, and then I'll be back tomorrow. Have you seen Alex Gray? Yeah, how amazing is he? Do you believe God's source is embodied in walking on the earth with us in secret? You're embodying it. Cunny, you're embodying it. What do you think you are? Every one of us is embodying it. All living things are embodying it. Honor that. Have a good Friday night. Yeah. So let's have some music. Okay. This is called Let It Flow.
Yeah. There's no more excuses or negotiating weakness. There's a fundamental error of perception in the architecture of your personal conception. Truth is, you're not your body, your corporality. Actually, factually, that's the reality. I say truth is, you're not your body, your corporality. Actually, factually, that's the reality. Go.
Your identity crisis is existential, but you're searching so far only in the mental. What it is you're trying to figure, it's why it is you keep being triggered. Until you decide and make the choice, you will avoid hearing that inner voice. Shifting perspectives collide with each other as you build a new version, then another. When all along you know that freedom comes with letting go. Yes, freedom comes from letting go. Feel the love and let it flow. When all along you know that freedom comes with letting go. Yeah, freedom comes from letting go. Feel the love and let it flow. Yeah, feel the love and let it flow.
The cause of suffering is an unfocused mind, where unconscious forces direct from behind. Your self-critical thinking and analyzation have not brought you to true self-realization. Who you are cannot be measured. Vast is mystery and to be treasured. Sparkling rivers that shimmer and shine, float you home right into the divine.
And all along you know that freedom comes with letting go. Freedom comes with letting go. Feel the love and let it flow. When all along you know that freedom comes with letting go. Freedom comes from letting go. Feel the love and let it flow.
Yeah.
Feel the love and let it flow.
Yeah, that's free niggas, love and let it flow. That's free new dish, your love and letting go. Yeah, I say, truth is, you're not your body, your corporality. Actually, factually, that's the reality. Yes, actually, factually, that's the reality. Go.
And all along you know that freedom comes with letting go.
is, you're not your body, your corporality. Actually, factually, that's the reality. Yeah, yes, sir. Actually, factually, that's the reality.
That freedom comes with letting go. Yes, freedom comes from letting go.
Peace.